What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we are here with the complete Ratatoskr Demonic Beast guide. In today's video, we're going to be covering the best teams, best artifact card sets, the best gear sets that you want to be running as well, and pretty much everything else that you need to know about the fight in terms of mechanics, passives, all that good stuff, guys. So if you guys do enjoy videos like this, man, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. This video, I'm starting the recording now, but obviously this is going to be like over an hour long of recording, guys. This is going to be like a long video, so please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the, work that I put into this. It definitely does take a while to actually get these things done, especially this big of a guide. And yeah, guys, with that out of the way, man, and all the, outlier stuff in the beginning, let's hop in and let's talk the best teams that you guys want to be running on the fight. Alrighty, guys, so hopping into the best teams for floors 1 to 3 of the Ratatoskr, we have two teams that I have here, guys. And one thing that I want to make note about, and you guys will see here on the notes part of this section, is that this is end game content, guys. This is something that you are not gonna do if you just started Grand Cross with this celebration. This is something for more of the players that have been playing the game for a while now and are trying to clear for, the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. This one is probably the most confusing Demonic Beast and the most difficult at the moment. And so, yeah, I mean, again, this is end game content. If you're not able to attempt this right now, do not attempt it, guys. So we do not have a free-to-play team at all in this video, guys. We only have a consistent 1 to 2, floors 1 to 2 team, which I feel like is kind of free-to-play friendly, but it isn't really, right? None of these characters are fully free, other than like Liz, right? And then we do also have the consistent floors 1 to 3 team as well. So we have these two teams that are going to be my main recommendations. So hopping into the teams here, guys, we got LR Liz, Jelly King, we got the Ragnarok Merlin, and DK Meliodas. Now, this one is a really good consistent floors 1 to 2 team. I've done a video already showcasing this team, guys. This was the first ever team actually that pretty much was able to clear a Ratatoskr Demonic Beast even back in the day when this did initially release. So yeah, I mean, this team is very consistent for floors 1 to 2, and yeah, if you're just looking to do floors 1 to 2, guys, check out this team, and I've done a video already covering this team and showcasing it as well, so you guys can definitely watch that video. But yeah, this is kind of talking about the complete guide here though, so we're gonna talk about mechanics and all that. But yeah, this team though is really good for floors 1 to 2. Now for floors 1 to 3 though, if we're talking you guys want to clear all 3 floors every single week, then you're gonna want to run this team at the bottom right here of Blue Valenti, LR Elizabeth, LR Gloxinia, and DK Meliodas. This is gonna be the most consistent team that I've found. Pretty much everyone that runs the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast that I know of mainly runs this team. This is kind of the most like used team at the moment in the fight, and it makes sense. It's a very good team. So yeah, we'll talk exactly how the kind of team works and all that once we get into the mechanics of the fight. But let's talk in the notes here, guys, of what we have to mention for these best teams. So if a character has a holy relic, it is needed to clear, guys. This is endgame content. Again, if you're trying to do this fight, you're gonna need Valenti's holy relic, you're gonna need LR Liz's holy relic, you're gonna need Glox's holy relic. Even though the relics do not provide, like, let's say like Glox's relic, right, his relic does not provide any buff in PvE, right? It's a PvP relic. It's still extra stats, and those amount of stats could actually help you make that that jump that you need to actually get the clear. And that's why I say it is needed to have the holy relics to be able to attempt this. You technically don't need it, but like, guys, if you want to have the best chance of clearing the fight, get the holy relics for all these characters. I've done the guides on all the other demonic beasts, so now you can actually grind them and get them all grinded on your account. And now that you will have all those holy relics, you can actually attempt this fight, and it would be for an endgame player. So yeah, this is endgame content, meaning you must only attempt this once you have cleared all other demonic beasts consistently. Once you are at the point where you are able to clear the other 4 demonic beasts that I've done the guides on already, guys, then feel free to finally attempt this demonic beast. Again, though, it is endgame. You have to be at that point where you've already done pretty much everything else in the game, and this is the hardest thing you can kind of attempt, right? So that just kind of bear that in mind. Now moving on, guys, there are multiple flex DPS options to run. These characters include, but are not limited to, LR Zeldris, Thor, Lancelot, Xion, etc. So as you guys can see here, guys, these are the characters that I had as examples. Now, I have a little note here saying please refer to myself and or other Grand Cross YouTubers for the showcase of the DPS you are looking for if you are interested in seeing the clear. I know off the top of my head, guys, I don't think I have a LR Zelda showcase on my channel, but I know Marilli does. I've done Lancelot, Xion, and Thor already on the channel, so if you guys are looking for those characters specifically and want to see the clear, feel free to check those videos. But yeah, man, I mean, these are the other flex options you can run as DPS that I've seen a lot of people attempt, and they do work, you know. And you know, there are obviously other DPS options too. I know people run UR Gulthar, I know people run LR Milim. There are still more than that, and that's why I put etc here. There are still, you know, a ton of other DPS characters you can run. It's just these ones were the ones that I found were the most consistent, but also the best ones to be able to run overall. And yeah, guys, those are going to be the flex options in terms of DPS characters. Now, the final thing here, guys, is that there are 2 Ratatoskr specific characters at the moment in the game that are tailor-made for clearing this fight. You cannot replace Valenti for Scotty and vice versa because they have different skills that are needed for the mechanics. So for you guys that don't know, I'll put it up on the screen here, but Blue Scotty is one of the other characters that is tailor-made for this fight, just like how we have Blue Valenti here on the consistent floors 1 to 3. Both these characters were made for the fight, but do play different, not necessarily roles because they're both supports, but they do technically play different roles in terms of the debuff that they are applying on the fight. And so I mentioned it right here, because they have different skills that are needed from the mechanics. Scotty should only be used in place of LR Gloxinia or Jelly King depending on the team, whereas Valenti replaces Ragnarok Merlin for, you know, let's say the consistent floors 1 to 2 team, right? So yeah, that's kind of the idea, guys. You're really only running these characters as replacements for other characters that are either weaker or just aren't able to get the job done. Like, you know, we have Ragnarok Merlin here on the consistent floors 1 to 2, and Valenti is just a way better option than that Merlin, in my opinion. You do get a lot more of a buff, and once you do drop Jelly King, you put Glocks, then you have the consistent floors 1 to 3 team. And in terms of like Scotty being added into any of these teams, guys, it's really only going to be if you don't have LR Glock, say you slot in Scotty. If you don't have, you know, Jelly King with his Holy Relic, then you slot in Scotty. Things like that, guys, where, you know, you might be able to get some value out of her. But overall, I only recommend really, you know, testing out these 2 teams right here. Unless, again, you have Scotty to replace, you know, Jelly King on the consistent floors 1 to 2. Like, that is viable as well. And then the final thing that we have here, guys, is the legend here with Holy Relic and Red Tarmiel Link. So as you guys can see here, we have obviously the Holy Relic and on all characters, right? We talked about why they are needed because this is endgame content. And then the other thing too being that the Red Tarmiel Link is actually on Valenti here on the floors 1 to 3, but is actually going to be on LR Liz on the floors 1 to 2. And we'll talk about that once we get to the specific gears. Alright, guys, so moving on to the next thing we got here, which is going to be the best artifact card sets for the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. We have 2 card sets here that you guys are going to be able to use. We have one on the left, which is going to be Aethernir's Refuge, and we have the one on the right, which is going to be the Quartz Farer Naglfar. These are going to be the 2 best card sets, in my opinion, guys, to be able to actually clear the Ratatoskr fight. Now, let's kind of talk about both the card sets and why they're both useful. So the first card set here we have is going to be Aethernir's Refuge. So Aethernir's Refuge is used if you do not own the Quartz Farer Naglfar, which is going to be the Nidhogg card set. It provides 10% basic stats of a buff, and it's still viable for a consistent Ratatoskr team, right? So any team that you run on the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast battle, you can still run this card set, guys, and do really well. You do not need to have the Nidhogg card set to be successful in the fight, and I myself has gotten many clears before this card set even released, running the Deer card set, and I've been completely fine doing my runs. So I just wanted to clarify that, you know, even though you might not be able to get the Nidhogg card set, you are still able to clear, guys, even though, you know, it is a little bit worse than the Nidhogg card set as well. So, you know, bear in mind that you are able to clear with this, and in my opinion, is still a really good card set to have, but in my opinion, a must have at the very least if you're going to be attempting this fight. Now, moving on to the next card set here, guys, this is going to be the best one, which is going to be the Quartz Farer Naglfar. Now, this card set is going to be tailor-made for use on the Ratatoskr fight, and this card set provides a 10% basic stat and increased defense related stats by 10% as well when debuffed with the food poisoning debuff. So in the fight of Ratatoskr, guys, I'll explain it once we get to the actual mechanics and stuff too, but in the fight we will be getting a debuff called food poisoning, and as you guys can see, this card set is tailor-made for that fight in the sense that it has food poisoning as an effect here where you gain defense related stats if you're debuffed with food poisoning. So this is going to be the best card set in my opinion, because you're gaining an extra 10% defense related stats in the fight versus, you know, the Ithirnir card set right here. So overall, guys, it's going to be the best one to get is going to be the Nidhogg one. But again, if you do not own the Nidhogg card set, you're still good to go with the Ithirnir's Refuge in my opinion. Alright guys, so hopping into the special gear sets that you guys are going to want to be using on the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast battle, we have for equipment info here, guys. 3 different characters that are going to be running special gear, and for the video, guys, we're going to be rocking the most consistent clear team for the recording. So at the very end, when we do the showcase of floors 1 to 3, we are going to be using the most consistent team. Since this is end game, I'm not going to rely on the you know, the floors 1 to 2 team for that part. But yeah, we are going to be using this gear right here, guys. So in terms of the gear here on Valenti, we are rocking triple critical resistance on Valenti. And the idea with this, guys, is that pretty much in the fight, if you are getting crit on at all, you're taking an absurd amount of damage. It's kind of the same thing as like Skull and Hadi, where crits do a lot of damage to Thonar, but it's a lot more, you know, prevalent in this fight, and especially against Valenti as well. But another thing that's really nice about running this full set right here, guys, is that it allows Valenti to be the lowest HP by a good margin from the rest of the characters on the team, which if you guys remember from the Nidhogg fight, we talked about how the lowest HP character is the one that gets targeted. And so Valenti being the lowest HP is valuable. You know, that allows her to be targeted so that when you run Tarmiel Link on her, she's going to be healing up all the damage that she's taking. So yeah, guys, in terms of the rolls on the gear, it's going to be standard attack and attack and HP, I mean, on the top and bottom pieces, right? That's going to be standard. But on the middle pieces, you are going to be, you know, kind of fulfilling the whole critical resistance idea here, where we're running full crit resistance rolls on both the pieces here, and just like these actual set bonus itself. So we are getting a total of, how much is that? That's 90% from the actual set bonuses itself, and then another 22.5 per piece in the middle slots that you actually have if you're completely maxed out. And so if we actually look at the amount of critical resistance we're getting here, guys, we're getting 135% critical resistance increase. And so Valenti with over 213% is enough to pretty much dodge every single crit in this fight. Now, talking about the other 2 characters here, guys, that have special gear, it's going to be Liz and Gloxinia, but it's just going to be the middle pieces that you swap. So you're normally going to run HP, you know, critical resistance here on these characters. So exact same thing as Valenti here. These middle pieces will require critical resistance rolls as high as you can get. And as you guys can see here, I actually am running a UR upgraded one. So this is pretty much a R piece that I engraved. So it's technically R, but it says SR here because we've actually engraved it, right? But yeah, you can make R gear here. That's completely fine. And as long as you roll it for critical resistance, you're good to go, guys. So it is kind of, you know, free to play friendly in that sense. You do not need to, like, you know, grind up SSR gear for every slot, right? You can see here, even on Valenti here, I don't even have UR gear for her specifically. Like, this is just off piece from my Thonar. Yeah, and then the same goes for Gloxinia. It's, you know, these middle pieces, they just need critical resistance, and you guys will be good to go overall. I mean, this is all you really need to be able to make this team really good. And the idea is, guys, that because you have all this critical resistance, on top of the fact that Glox himself is providing that, you know, defense related stats from his passive, you're pretty much not going to be able to get crit on this fight, other than like maybe some minor circumstances where you know, maybe get crit on because the boss has like Sever or something like that, right? That's probably like the only time you're able to really get crit. Yeah, guys, and then for DK Meliodas here, or for your other DPS characters that you're running in for a flex DPS, they're definitely going to want to have attack critical damage because you want the most amount of damage possible from this character. And yeah, I mean, Sariel Link is going to be a must as well, or you know, Mael Link or Sobnak Link, any type of like damage link that's going to boost your damage, I would say is definitely recommended for your DPS as well. Alright, guys, so that's going to be the special gear sets for the team. Let's actually move on to the passives of the fight now, and we'll cover which ones that you guys want to be making sure you're getting in the fight. Alrighty, guys, now hopping into the best passives here for the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. Let's go over floor 1 here, and we'll talk about those ones first. So hopping into floor 1, guys, the best passive that you guys are going to want to get is going to be the Ignore Defense one. The hero ignores 40% of the enemy's defense when using skills, and this is going to apply before skill activation. This one's going to be the best one for the boss to get, because the second one right here that the boss has a chance of getting is going to increase the hero's critical chance and critical damage by 20%, which obviously is not good, guys. If we're trying to run critical resistance here, giving the boss an extra 20% crit chance might actually mess with our crit resistance gear. And so this is a passive that I wouldn't necessarily like say to reset for, especially if you're doing a floors 1 to 2. But if you're doing a floors 1 to 3, guys, this might be a passive that could maybe affect you later on in the fight. And so maybe try going for, you know, this passive right here, the ignore defense one. It is a 50-50 going into phase 3 on which one you get. But I've had times, guys, where I've just gotten only this one like 4 times in a row. So if you just get this one and you just have to settle for it, it is what it is. But this one is going to be the best one to get overall, in my opinion. Just because of the fact that ignoring defense in Grand Cross is not as substantial as, you know, increasing critical chance and critical damage. Now moving on to floor 2, guys, in terms of the passive tier for floor 2, the one that you actually should reset for, guys, on floor 2 phase 1, and this one's actually very easy to reset because since you're already on that floor and it's the first phase you get it, you can actually reset for this passive very easily, right? The best one that you want to get, guys, is going to be the basic stat increase one. This is going to increase the hero's base stats by 10% when an enemy uses a rank up skill during the enemy's turn. And in the fight, guys, we are not running a rank up character. If you are running the Gulther variant though, then obviously you do not want to get this passive. You want to get this passive right here, where you're going to be increasing the hero's attack at the start of the next turn if the hero doesn't take damage, right? So pretty much you're going to be able to, you know, always have the this passive right here and get the full benefit out of it if you're not running a rank up character like Gulther. And for the team that we are rocking for today's video, we will not be running Gulther, so that passive right there is a free passive for us. So, you know, definitely reset for this one if you don't want the boss to get, you know, 10% extra attack randomly when you don't hit him, because there are some times, guys, where you might not actually attack the boss and you're only attacking stumps, and so that's something that you definitely want to take into account. Now moving to phase 3 here, guys, we have 2 passes on phase 3 that you can get. Now my opinion in terms of these ones that are able to be obtained, I think probably the best one would be the critical damage increase one, because this one's going to increase the hero's critical damage by 10% for each orb removed from the hero's ultimate move gauge. Limit of 10 times, and excludes depletion from the ultimate move used. We do not have any gauge reduction on the team we're rocking here, guys, so that's going to be the best passive overall. Since we're not going to be taking his gauge, he's not going to get any critical damage anyway, and even if he was to get critical damage, that's not critical chance, so he's probably still going to miss a lot of the crits. And yeah, I mean, this isn't really, you know, a major effect. And pretty much these 2 passes right here are actually dead passes running this specific team that we are rocking right here. And then yeah, I mean, this passive right here, guys, the other one you're able to get is going to increase the hero's attack by 2% at the end of the ally's turn up to 5 times, meaning he gets 10% extra attack. That could definitely mess with your run a little bit for sure. But again, like, if you get it, you know, still try and get the clear, guys. I would still recommend like at least going for the clear, even if you do get this, you know, this passive right here. It definitely can affect maybe your floor 3, but if you just want to go floors 1 and 2 and you get the clear on this, then yeah, I mean, that's good to go and you're fine. But yeah, definitely a lot worse than getting the critical damage increase one. But yeah, and then again, you know, if you are using a gauge reduction character like you know, LR Zeldris or Gulther, then maybe this one could be a little bit of an issue. But because you are rocking critical resistance gear on, you know, pretty much your whole team, you should be good to go in terms of, you know, just being protected from the boss. And then moving on to floor 3 here, guys, for the passives, we have 2 passives here on phase 1, and then we have 2 passives on phase 3. Now for phase 1, the best passive that you guys are going to get, in my opinion, is going to be the max HP one. So applies an effect on the hero which increases the max HP by 15% at the start of the battle. This is going to apply when entering battle as well. Now I think the max HP one is going to be a little bit better than the damage reduction, because damage reduction, guys, on the fight is kind of annoying to deal with, right? I mean, the main thing with damage reduction is that it's going to reduce the total amount of damage you're dealing, whereas like with max HP, if you were already bypassing a damage cap, or you were, you know, hitting that damage cap with a lot of excess damage, you would have already hit it anyway, and DK Meliodas is easily going to be able to hit this, whereas maybe with the 10% damage decrease, he might not be able to always hit that damage cap, especially on like AoE skills. So I would definitely recommend getting the HP one, but regardless, you don't have to reset for this one. If you still get this one right here with the damage reduction, I still think it is a viable run and you can still keep going. But moving into phase 3 here, guys, the best passive that you're going to want to get is going to be the fill hero's ultimate move gauge by 1. I mean, that's pretty much a free passive right there, guys. The boss is going to gain 1 ultimate move gauge, but it's not really going to affect your run overall, and in my opinion, this one is the one to go with. This one right here can mess up runs overall. Decreases enemies ultimate move gauge by 1 orb when the hero enters the battle. definitely one that can mess you up, guys, because you're not able to have your ultimate moves off the rip. But it's not necessarily a bad passive either, because there are some reasons why you might not want to ult instantly anyway. And going into that phase, when we talk about the floor 3 phase 3, you might not need to actually ult on that turn 1. So this one could still be viable. It just kind of depends on how your ultimate moves are kind of looking like. If you had like ultimate on DK Melly or something like that, right? A damage ultimate might be affected by this for sure. Maybe not necessarily a healing ultimate, because you're not going to be using that anyway, but we'll talk about it when we're on that phase of the fight. Alright guys, so now that we've covered pretty much everything that you guys need to know as like preliminary information going into the fight, let's actually do the showcase now of floors 1 to 3, and we'll also talk about the mechanics of each of the phases and what you guys need to know about. So again guys, this is going to be the team we're rocking here. So stuff we talked about earlier already, Tarmiel Link on your Valenti, we got the LR Liz and Gloxinia on their special gear, just like Valenti has hers. DK Melly's on his attack critical damage, and then for the artifact card support, we are rocking the Nidhogg card set. Again, you do not need this card set to be able to clear. It is just obviously the best one to run, and so because I have it, I might as well run it. But yeah, overall guys, we should be good to go. So let's hop in and let's see what we're able to do on floor 1 of the Ratatoskr. Alrighty guys, so we are hopping in now to the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. So let's actually go over the mechanics here guys, and kind of explain what you need to know about in terms of floor 1. Now, even on floor 1 guys, there's a lot of mechanics you need to know about, so let's go through it like all together, and we'll talk about what you need to know about. So off the rip guys, as you can see, the entire team right now is attack sealed and also ultimate move sealed right now. So what we want to do to actually remove that is by using debuffs on the team. So we have a bleed card here from Gloxinia, we have a shock card right here from Valenti, and also in Valenti's passive here guys, all target attack skills from her actually count as poison skills as well. So those 3 debuffs that we have right there with bleed, shock, and poison are gonna be the ways where we're able to move the rat depending on the stump that he's at the moment. And so the way it's gonna work guys is that bleed is gonna move him to the right, you have shock moving him to the left, and poison will be moving him to the middle. So if we want to move the rat right now, we can actually use either the Gloxinia attack card here or the attack card here with Valenti. And what I like to do off the rip personally is I'll do the Gloxinia card. So I'm just gonna waste Gloxinia, I'm gonna waste his AoE skill since right now it's sealed and we don't really need it. And then also I am gonna waste the DK Melly AoE, and then yeah, I mean, we can just kind of move a card right there with with LR Liz right there guys. And as you guys will see here, as we move the boss, he's gonna go to the right now because we did bleed, right? And because we actually did that, we are now not attack sealed anymore, and we're also not ultimate move sealed. And so right there, as you guys can see, the rat is applying a debuff on us, which is going to be food poisoning. Now, food poisoning, guys, if you actually look at what the debuff does, here, let me actually go to his skill. So the food poisoning debuff is going to be additional damage equal to 5% of max HP at the end of every turn, and it can actually be stacked up to I think it's 5 times when he actually does get the max amount. But once you get to 4, he actually converts it into the it's like a gray debuff food poisoning pretty much guys. So at that point, you do not want to have that many, and pretty much the idea is that you do not want to have like a ton of food poisoning on your team. Luckily DK Melly can cleanse your team, and you should be good to go with that. But yeah, like what I'm gonna do now guys is we're actually gonna use the double cards here with Liz, just so that we're able to kind of heal up Valenti there. And then we are gonna use the shock card to actually move him now to the far left, because remember, shock is gonna be left, bleed's gonna be right, and then poison's gonna be middle. So yeah, we're gonna do the buff card with Liz, attack card with Liz, shock card right there, and then we can do just I guess a single target with DK Melly, or even an AoE there. An AoE is fine actually. So yeah, right here, getting the defense related buff right there into the attack with Liz guys. It's going to heal up the team a little bit. Valenti's also building up attack related stats every time she uses a skill as well, which is very important too guys. So kind of bear that in mind. So as you guys can see, the rat actually does move now to the left. So you guys can see that every time we're using a different skill, he is able to move depending on the skill use. He is gonna ult my DK Melly there. It's a little bit weird, but that's completely fine as he's gonna be able to cleanse it. And then now on this turn here guys, we're just gonna do the ult with Liz. We're gonna do the attack card with Liz, so we cycle the ultimate. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the AoE with Valenti to move him back to the middle, because again, we have to keep the rat moving pretty much on this first phase. So every time we have him moving, this one will move him back to the middle, because this is going to count as poison, right? Because remember, all target attacks do count as poison. This is a AoE skill. So right there, you know, we're just gonna follow up with a DK Meliodas single target, and that's gonna deal a really good amount of damage on the boss there too. And then next turn, we're probably gonna be able to finish off the fight, guys, and you know, move into the next phase here. Let's see. Because I think there is damage cap as well. Yeah, so we're not able to actually insta kill him yet. Yeah, right there, as you guys can see as well, the boss also does gain a debuff right there, which is going to be the dissolve one. So if we actually do attack into him, we will get dissolved on the character we attack into, unless we're actually getting the kill on the boss. So if you do actually get the kill, you're fine, but if you do not get the kill, you will be dissolved. Another thing too is that every time you move him back to the middle, you can see that his max HP gets lowered, right? So if you actually go to his debuffs here, HP decrease can be stacked, and it's pretty much every time that you move him left or right and then back to the middle. So that's how that's going to work on this phase, but usually you don't need to be doing that too much, as like by this point in the fight, guys, we're able to just kind of kill him and move on. So right here, I'm just going to do the DK Meliodas ultimate just to kind of kill, and then yeah, we can just kind of waste cards here. So I'm just going to waste one of those Gloxinia cards, and then yeah, we can just end turn here, guys, as well. So there we go. Boom, we actually killed that phase of the fight, and now we're moving into the second phase of floor 1 here. So yeah, on second phase of floor 1, guys, there's going to be, as you can see, the entire team right now is all stat lowered. Now, the way we're going to remove the all stats is going to be by doing these skills that we were talking about, guys. So you can see 10% all stat decrease right now. So the way we're going to move them is by doing one of the skills here. So we have either Gloxinia with the bleed, or we can do the shock here with Valenti. So what I am going to do here, I think, is probably just a bleed with Gloxinia. So let's actually do the bleed right there with him. You know what we'll do? Actually, we'll do these skills first, right? And then yeah, then we'll do the bleed. Yeah. So one other thing to take into account though on this phase, guys, is that you don't want to go crazy with AoEs yet, because if you do attack these side stumps, the boss is actually going to gain a blue buff effect, which I don't think it actually says right here. Yeah, it doesn't say right here, but you guys will have to see as I do the like skills here. But pretty much he's gonna gain these blue buffs, and once he gets to, I think it's a total of 4 or 5, he's actually gonna gain an attack related stat buff and pretty much just destroy your whole team. So you do not want to use AoEs on the first turn here, you know, on this phase. You just kind of want to use like these single targets to be able to move him, and then just kind of leave him off of that. So let's do the Gloxinia ultimate. Let's do the single target with Gloxinia. I'm going to waste one AoE here, guys, just to show you that, you know, what happens. But using one AoE is okay, because he's only going to get 2 of the, you know, the blue buffs. So we can actually do that. And then I'm just going to end turn here, since we do not want to use any of our skills. We do want to save this with Valenti, and we do want to save the AoE as well. So I'm just going to end turn right there. So as you guys will see, single target right there doesn't give him any buff. Same with this single target right here. But once we do the AoE, you guys will see the boss does gain the blue buffs right there. Yep. So those are going to be the blue buffs right there. So now obviously by using bleed, we move him to the right. And so now we're going to be able to pretty much get the kill from this point, guys. So we can actually just go straight up for the kill now, because we do have triple DK melee skills. I think it actually is attainable for us to get the kill right there. So yeah, very, very close to getting, you know, Valenti there on the death, but we're still fine, guys. And so what you want to do on this turn here, guys, is just do the ultimate with Liz. And then you want to just start ripping all your damage into the rat here, so that he dies before he actually gains that attack related stat buff. Because I have 3 attacks here with DK Meliodas, we're easily going to be able to kill here. So I am going to go with the single target. Let's do actually the rank 2 single target first, just so we do the max amount of damage here. So, you know, let's do the ult with Liz, single target melee, AoE. And that's going to be completely fine, guys, because we do not actually want to have any of these skills on our hand right now. Because moving into the final phase, we're going to be a lot of, you know, gimmicks in terms of, you know, these 3 debuffs that we're going to need. And so you want to kind of have these 3 debuffs on your hand, if possible, moving into that next phase as well. So yeah, we're just going to do this. And that's actually going to get the kill, because I think he has a 40% damage cap. So we should be able to easily actually kill him. Yeah. So there we go. 40% damage cap. Another single target there from Meliodas, and then we finish him off with the AoE here, guys, and yeah, you're good to go. So right there, we actually do kill him. We're on to the final phase now of floor 1. So yeah, right there, we do get the worst passive right there, guys. It's still okay to let the, you know, the fight run. We're not going to give up off of getting that passive here. But again, like, if you guys are willing to reset for a different passive, feel free to do it. You know, this one is a little bit worse than the other one, but it's up to you at the end of the day, guys, in terms of what you want to go about it. But yeah, the other one would be a little bit better. So yeah, what we're going to do off the rip here, guys, is I'm going to do the, yeah, so we got to remember again. So bleed is right. Shock is left, and then poison's middle. So if we actually move him to the right, we would have to do him back to the middle. So we actually have to start with, yeah, no. So we actually have to start with bleed. The reason why we start with bleed, guys, is because as you can see right here, right? The boss is going to have on the stumps, he's going to evade melee skills with the right stump, but then on the left stump, he's going to evade range skills. So we actually want to have a range skill attacking into the right stump after we've already moved him there. And as you can see from Valenti's skill right here, the kinetic and potential, this one's actually a range skill, which is shock, right? Which would actually move him back to the left. So we do want to start with Gloxinia here by doing the debuff he has. So let's actually debuff the boss right here with Gloxinia, and then we can just kind of waste all of our dead cards right here. So we can just do that, and and you know what I'll do? Actually, I'll move up Liz, right? So let's just do this. We'll move Liz, and then waste this AoE. And so what that's going to do, guys, is it's going to move the boss to the right, and that's going to allow us to be able to, you know, move him to the left and then back to the middle where we can finally damage the boss and actually finish him off. So that's pretty much the gimmick of floor 1, is that you have to move him left, right, middle, or right, left, middle, I guess, right? You know, however way you do it, pretty much you just want to move him, right? That's kind of the idea. So alright, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to waste Gloxinia's ultimate because it's nothing crazy. I am going to do the... yeah, I'm going to do the attack card here with Valenti, right? I'm going to do the ult with Liz, and then we're going to do the ult, or the attack with Liz as well to cycle the ultimate. So yeah, we'll do that. So there we go. Gonna waste Gloxinia's ultimate right there, nothing crazy. But then remember, guys, the shock is gonna land because you know, he evades melee, not ranged. And so now shock is gonna allow him to move to the far left. And then the way we're going to move him back to the middle, guys, which you might be already questioning, like, how are we going to do it if he's going to evade range skills on this stump right here, which is how we have the ultimate here, guys. The ultimate from Valenti is actually an AoE skill. So that's actually going to allow us to be able to move him from the left all the way back to the middle, and then we can actually finish off the fight of the boss. That's kind of the idea, because remember, the ultimate does not count as ranged or melee, so it bypasses that debuff, right, or that buff that he has on the stump. So we can actually use Valenti's ultimate here, which will actually move him back to the middle, whereas if we use these skills right here, because they're ranged and he's on the stump that evades range, we literally would not be able to damage him with this skill, guys. So that would actually be a dead run if we didn't have Valenti ultimate on this turn. So that's why you want to make sure that you already have Valenti's ultimate chilling in your hand, so that when you are able to use it, you can just, you know, kind of use it, and then yeah, you'll move into the next turn right there. So yeah, we're gonna ult with Valenti here, guys. So let's rip the ultimate with Valenti. We can do double AoE with Valenti. These won't matter, and then we can just kind of waste... yeah, I guess we'll just end turn here. We actually just end turn. Next turn we will go for the ult with Liz. And then we can do DK melee, and then DK melee, and we'll probably finish off the fight there. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm probably just gonna end turn here, yeah. And then yeah, next turn we'll actually finish him off because he'll finally be able to be damaged. Because right now, as you guys can see, he does have a damage reduction buff right there, guys, and he's only gonna have that damage reduction buff until you've moved him left, right, middle, or you know, right, left, middle, whatever the case. Pretty much you have to move him all 3 sums one time, and then you can actually finish him off there, and then, you know, move into the next phase. So yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do here now, guys, is because we have a bunch of DK melee skills here, I think we actually have enough damage to finish him off. So I am going to go with the ultimate with Liz. I'm going to do the DK melee with his ultimate. I'm going to do the single target here with him as well, and then into the AoE. And that should actually just finish off the fight here, regardless of your dupe level on DK melee, guys. As long as you have that extra, you know, attack related stats from Liz, you should be really good here. And so, you know, as we drop the ultimate, it's going to do 40%. We're going to do the single target here from DK melee, which is going to do also 40%. And then the AoE here, guys, is going to finish him off, and we're good to go. And that's going to be the floor 1 right there of the fight. You know, a lot of mechanics that you have to remember, but overall, guys, it was a pretty consistent team, right? You know, we were able to go through very easily. So that's going to be the floor 1 right there, guys. Let's move on now to floor 2. Alrighty, guys, we are hopping into the floor 2 now of the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. So let's go over the mechanics here, guys, on this floor, and talk about everything that you guys need to know. So off the rip, guys, the first thing that you need to know in floor 2 of phase 1 specifically is that if you have a food poisoning debuff and they're all removed, you actually will get a bunch of gray food poisoning debuffs, and your team will pretty much lose the fight. So what's going to happen here is the boss is going to use his debuff attacks against us, and they will most likely be food poisoning debuffs, yeah. And what they are going to do is they're going to start stacking up on our characters, and we want to make sure that we have at least 1 food poisoning on any of our characters at any time, at the very least, right? Because once all of them are cleansed, what will happen is the boss will actually give us a bunch of those gray food poisonings, and we will die. Another thing to take into account as well is that when 4 of the food poisonings are landed on the character and then another one hits the character, you're actually going to convert them into a gray food poisoning debuff, which cannot be removed until you move into the next phase, and it will only remove 1 per phase you move into. So let's say we actually get a gray food poisoning on Valenti at the end of this, at the end of this phase, guys. If we move into phase 2, it actually will disappear. But remember, you're only able to get the gray food poisonings if you pretty much either do the mess up that I mentioned where you cleanse all your debuffs, or if a character gets 5 or more of the red food poisonings and they convert into a gray. So that's kind of the idea. So let's start out the fight and let's talk about what we want to do. So again, bleed is going to be right, shock is going to be left, poison is going to be middle, so that's still the same. But the one thing that we want to do in this part of the fight, guys, is we actually want to keep them in the middle for all of floor 2 pretty much. So the idea is we want to keep them in the middle. So I'm going to do both the debuffs right here, guys, and you might be wondering, why are we doing double debuff here if you want to keep them in the middle? And the reason why is because if we actually end with the poison debuff, the poison debuff will override all these other debuffs and keep them in the middle. So that's ideally what we want to do. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then I'm going to do the buff card right there with Liz. So that's going to pretty much allow us, guys, to be able to keep them in the middle, and then from there we can, kind of deal with them depending on what happens on turn 2. Alright, so let's see here. He is going to go stay in the middle, obviously, right, because we did the poison AoE. And then, yeah, right here, okay, crazy merge with Liz. That's not normal, but, W merge right there on Liz. But yeah, I mean, what you would do though on this turn coming up anyway, guys, is we would try to kind of get an Elizabeth ultimate anyway, because obviously your Valenti is going to be taking a lot of damage and you want to obviously heal up. So as you guys can see right there, we have 3 food poisonings on Valenti. As long as we make sure that there is at least only 1 available by the end of the turn, then we're good to go, because if you had no food poisonings right there and we actually fully cleansed that, then we would have got a bunch of gray food poisoning debuffs on everybody, which would have, ended the run. So yeah, that is very, very important. So what we're going to do now, guys, I'm going to do the Liz AoE here. I mean, we got it at rank 3, we might as well. Regardless, though, if you just top deck the Liz card, you would kind of want to push up her ultimate while using the skill. So again, maybe merge cards here if you got a Liz top deck. Use the attack card, try and heal up. You could also like alt rush Liz as well if you really wanted to, but I think just kind of letting the fight flow is usually fine. Yeah, so we do the attack card right there with Liz. I'm gonna go for the AoE with DK Meliodas actually. We can actually follow up with AoE Glocks, and then we can do the other AoE with DK Meli as well, just to kind of clear out our hand here. So yeah, Liz is gonna do 300k right there, which is really good. That heals us a good chunk. The AoE from DK Meli is going to do a lot as well. And yeah, guys, pretty much the only way we're going to be able to remove that immortality the boss has is by killing the left and right stump. So we have to be able to kill those stumps to be able to move him. And that's what we're going to be trying to do here on this fight. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, he's doing his AoEs. That's going to apply the food poisoning right there. So he's going to apply it. And then right here, you guys will see, because we have more than 5, it actually converts into a gray one right there. And because of that, it actually, now we have a gray debuff on Valenti. Right, so yeah, again, bear that in mind that will happen. What we can do now is we can do the attack card with Liz off the ultimate. We can do AoE. Actually, we could actually do this into the AoE here with Valenti, which could work as well. But I'm a little hesitant to do that though, actually, because I want to maybe save another one of these just to make sure we keep them in the middle. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the AoE with Glocks, and then I'm going to do AoE with Valenti there as well, and that should be okay to do. So yeah, we'll do that. And then this should actually keep him in the middle. So yeah, let's do that. All with Liz. We'll do the attack card follow-up. And then this AoE, if not killing, it should do good. Yeah, so it actually does go very close to killing. This might actually kill, let's see. Does this kill? It kills the right stump. But because we use poison, guys, he should stay in the middle. As you guys can see, there you go. So that's completely fine. Alright, so now we're going to get attacked again. We're going to get a bunch of debuffs right there with the food poisonings. That's completely fine. You'll see here that we are going to get attacked again as well. There we go. And yeah, because we still have the food poisonings, guys, we're completely fine this turn. And now we just have to kill the left stump, and then we can focus the boss right there and actually kill him off as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the Valenti ultimate. That's going to cleanse a debuff on everybody, but also on herself as well. We can do the Glock's ultimate. We can do the ult with Liz, and then the follow-up attack with Liz just to cycle our ultimate. That's also, kind of what you want to be doing as well, guys, is making sure you cycle your ultimate with the team, just so that you're able to get, as many ultimates as possible. It's going to be pretty nice. So there we go. Attack with Liz right there. Good chunk of damage. Valenti still has 2 of the debuffs, so we're good. And we're not going to be, you know, a bunch of food poisonings on us. That's fine. So he's going to go for the AoE. And now he's going to start doing no damage pretty much, right? Because of the fact that the other 2 stumps are now dead. So that's really good. And then, yeah, right there, he's going to go for the single target. That's going to be 5, and that's going to convert into another gray one. So now, guys, when we move into the next phase, we're only going to remove 1 of the gray food poisonings. We're not going to remove both. So that's something that will happen, but once we do get to full phase 3, if we still have that gray food poisoning, it will be removed by that point in the fight. So that's going to be completely okay. So what I'm going to do now is actually just do the double debuff here with Gloxinia, since we're not going to need the debuff anymore. And then I'm going to go with the DK Meliodas ultimate right here just to finish it off, I think. Or no, actually, we'll do single target. We'll do single target. So let's do this. Let's do DK Melee single target. And then, yeah, I guess I'll waste the AoE here with Gloxinia as well, actually. Yeah, honestly, that might be the play just we clear out our hand a little bit. But yeah, right here, guys, we're gonna pretty much finish off this phase of the fight, and we're moving into phase 2 here. Luckily, in phase 2, we actually can cleanse, so we can actually use Liz's buff card on phase 2, which is good. So any of these debuffs that we now have, we should be able to actually just cleanse up now. But yeah, guys, same thing applies. We want to keep him in the middle. That's ideally what you want to do. So let's drop the DK Meliodas ultimate. Let's do the ult with Liz. Let's do the buff card with Liz. And then we'll do the AoE with Valenti here just to keep him in the middle. I think that's probably, yeah, that's a good shout. So let's do that. So DK Meliodas ultimate is going to do a lot of damage. The sums do have damage cap on this phase as well. So, you know, kind of bear that in mind. We do the buff right there. We can now finally cleanse with Liz. And then AoE right here just to make sure he stays in the middle, right? You know, just making sure he has that poison debuff. There we go. So now, this is another part of the fight, guys, that is a little bit RNG. So I'm honestly not too sure how this works with the boss. But the way it works is that, from what I know, is that the boss is going to choose to land on any of the locations here randomly. Now, when he does land on that spot, if he has a debuff, or it's going to be a buff on him, which is when we actually attack with a single target, it will apply a buff to that stump that we do attack. If he lands on that stump that we attack, we actually are going to gain an all stats buff for the entire team. If we choose the wrong stump and he actually goes to a different one that doesn't have the buff, then we're going to get an oxidized debuff on the entire team. But oxidized for DK Melee won't be that bad, guys, because we'll just auto cleanse it on the start of turn. So on this turn, if you have any issues, guys, feel free to just kind of, you know, cleanse it off with DK Melee and then move him back to the middle again. You might have a few issues with that, but what I will do on this turn right here is I'm going to do the AoE with Gloxinia. And then I'm just going to do the single target onto the middle right here and then just end turn. Because I just want to make sure that he stays in the middle. But if he doesn't go back to the middle, then Valenti ultimate next turn will force him back to the middle. So let's do that. So we're going to do this and then we're going to end turn. And as you guys will see, when we do a single target, it's going to give him the buff that if he gets that buff, that mark right there. If he lands back in the middle, then what would happen is we'd actually get an all stats buff, but because he landed on the right, we're actually going to get a, a oxidized debuff, right? So that you have to kind of bear that in mind, guys. That's something that can happen. But that's still fine, because what we can do here is we can ult with Valenti, we can ult with Liz, we can do the buff card with Liz, and we can actually kill the left stump, making it so that he moves 100% to the middle. So we can actually do this right here, and we'll still be completely fine, guys. The DK Melee is going to cleanse the oxidize. You shouldn't have too many issues with that debuff anyway. But yeah, I'm usually okay with it regardless, because we always move him back to the middle anyway. So killing the left stump right there. There we go. And then because we actually poisoned the boss, he's going to move back to the middle. Yep, and now we just have to kill the right stump, and then we're back into the same spot where we're pretty much just killing all the stumps, and then, you know, we're good to go again. Yeah, so there we go, guys. So, alright, so that AoE right there is weak point. That hits very, very hard on Valenti, as you guys saw. So, you know, be wary of that. Let's now actually kill this right stump here. So I'm going to do the, you know what I'll actually do? I'll do the debuff here onto the stump from Valenti. I'm going to do the Gloxinia ultimate. I'm going to do the single target with Melee. And then I'm actually just going to, you know, just kind of waste the skill here, guys. I'm going to waste this single target as well. But yeah, that should definitely kill off that stump. And we should be good to go to pretty much finish off the boss and move into the next phase. So there we go. That's going to kill the, or the right stump, I mean. And then, yeah, no, now we can freely debuff the boss and we're good to go. So yeah, that, as you guys can see, now we're okay. He's going to get the immortality again. But as you guys will see here, because there's only one stump he can land on, we will get the all stats buff this time around. So I'll show you guys. So we'll just do this. You know, we will make sure we'll do the Liz ult cycle though. So let's do this. We can do that attack roll right there. And then, yeah, we can just kind of waste... Actually, no, I'll probably save that. I'll probably save DK melee single target. But we'll use that next turn to actually just kind of kill the boss. And then, yo, we'll be good to go. So, right there, it applies the mark. And as you guys will see, he lands on the mark. That's going to, you know, give us the all stats buff. And that's better for us. And now we get to actually attack as well. So, there we go. And so now what I'm going to do, guys, again, cycle ult. So I'm going to do the ult buff again. I'm going to do single target. I'm going to do single target with Valenti and then single target melee. That shouldn't kill, but it should do a good chunk of damage overall. And then, yeah, we want to have a good amount of AoEs moving into the final phase, so we don't have to deal with any of the, you know, boss moving to the left stump or right stump on that final phase, right? That's ideally what you want to do, so. Alright, so he's going to jump back onto the middle. Nothing's going to happen with him. He's going to heal up a little bit, but we're okay. And then, yeah, right here, guys, I am going to waste probably Gloxinia Ultimate. I think that could be good just to finish him off there. Yeah, I think Gloxinia Ultimate might be the move here, so. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll do the... yeah, so we'll do the debuff with Glox, we'll do the Gloxinia Ultimate, and then, yeah, I think we're free to move into the next phase here. Yeah, I think we shouldn't have too many issues. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to waste my final card being an AoE with DK melee, and then we can just end turn. And then we're moving into the next phase. We have Valenti Ultimate, we have an AoE with Valenti as well. So we actually are in a really good spot, guys, to be able to just kind of one bang the stumps, and then, yeah, we should be good. So let's see here. So moving into the final phase. We are going to gain the best passive, actually. That's the good one, right? So that's going to be the one where he only gains critical damage if we deplete his ultimate move gauge, which we're not doing with our team. And we also do have the basic style one from the rank up, which is also another really good passive. So overall, we're in a really good spot. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to ult with DK melee. I'm going to AoE with DK melee. I'm going to do the ult with Valenti, and I'm going to do the AoE with Valenti as well. And hopefully this does kill all the stumps on the left and the right, and we don't have to deal with them. But if we still do stay alive, then it's okay, because yeah, I mean, we should be in a fairly good spot here. So DK melee ultimate, boom. That's going to do damage cap. We're going to do the AoE rank 3 right here. Should be a damage cap as well. So there we go. And then Valenti Ultimate into the Valenti AoE should be able to kill the side stumps. And yeah, guys, we should be good to go. So there we go. And nice. So there we are. So now we've actually killed all the stumps instantly, and we do not have to worry too much about the boss now. As you guys can see, the boss is losing HP every turn that he stays in the middle once the side stumps are dead. Right here, though, he does have weak points. You got to be wary. Right, you gotta be wary, right? Liz actually, right, you know, kind of got caught there. So that's something that you have to be worried about, guys. You have to make sure that, you know, going into this phase, you are a little bit healthier on HP, I guess. Right there, my Elizabeth was kind of cugged. So what we'll do is we'll come back to this point in the fight, and yeah, we'll pretty much, you know, get the clear, guys. But I'll get back to this exact point in the fight here. Alrighty, guys, so we are back at the same phase here of the fight in the Rat. Now, my passives did change. I did get the attack one on the first phase here, so this is the only thing that we now have that could be a little bit worse for us overall. But we did keep the critical damage passive here, and yeah, on this turn, we should actually be fine tanking, guys, because we do have full health on Elizabeth this time. Last time we didn't. So yeah, I mean, this time we definitely will be able to pretty much tank through all of it overall. So yeah, we're gonna do the ult with DK melee here, followed with the AoE from DK melee into the ultimate with Valenti, and then AoE with Valenti right there. And using that amount of damage there, guys, that's gonna kill both the stumps. We did it before as well. It was able to get the job done in terms of killing the stumps. So there we go. We do actually get the AoE off. Valenti ult's gonna do a lot, and then into this AoE here from Valenti should be able to kill both the side stumps. So there we go. And yeah, we've got him back in the middle. And yeah, he should not be able to kill Liz this time, guys. Last time we actually just had, you know, bad RNG with Liz. And that can definitely happen. Rat is endgame, guys. This is the hardest thing in the game right now. So yeah, that can definitely happen. So right there, as you guys can see, we tank a lot better that time. I think the time that Liz died, we had like multiple rank 2s from the boss as well. That was a little bit scary too. And the reason why it hit so hard as well, guys, because that's weak point AoE, right? So that obviously is gonna hit very hard when you have a debuff on a character. So you just gotta be a little bit wary about that. Alright, now, what we can do here now, though, is just kind of spam all of our debuff skills. Since he's only in the middle now, guys, all we can really do now is just kind of stall. So I am just going to do the ult with Liz, and we'll just ult cycle there, and then just start spamming a bunch of single targets. Now, one other thing to mention about this phase of the fight, guys, is that the boss will have a revive when he's around, I think, 30% HP. It's, I think, 33% is his damage cap, so he will have around 33%-ish HP before he procs it. So you pretty much have to have him at that exact point to be able to kill him if you do want to not proc the revive. What I usually do is I'll just proc the revive anyway just by stalling. But it definitely does depend though on your card RNG. If you don't have good card RNG and you keep getting a bunch of you know, like you don't get like Liz cycle and you can't really do that, then you might have to try and time the damage if you can as well. But again, it's really dependent on how kind of the fight goes for you guys overall, man. So alright, now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to waste this. I'm going to do a melee single target here, I think, as well, or maybe AoE. And then we'll hold on to that single target. But yeah, right here, this is going to get him pretty low, right? You know, we're HP decreasing him as well every single turn because he is in the middle. That is part of what happens. So AoE right there with Valencia, we get a little bit of a heal. Right here, guys, if we do too much damage, we will proc the revive. Yep. So we do actually full heal him right there, and he's going to be back to full health, but yeah, we should still be completely fine though, guys. So he's going to go for the AoE, that's weak point, not a lot of damage. He's going to go for the AoEs now, let's see. There we are. So yeah, the AoE is definitely not doing too bad, like those ones specifically. Unless we were debuffed, then we would be taking a lot of damage there, but because we weren't, we were actually fine. So yeah, now what I'm going to do here, guys, I have to go for the Liz ult here, unfortunately. So I actually do have to rip the Liz ult. We will have to cycle it back though somehow. Right, we're gonna have to somehow get it back, which because we don't have another skill here, we might not be able to. And we're not gonna be able to get the kill here with Meliodas. He's just not gonna be able to do it. So we do have to rip the follow-up cards here with Valencia just so that she cleanses the team as well. But yeah, we should be good to go from this point in the fight though, guys. We should be able to kill here on probably the next turn. We just have to hope we kind of tank well against the boss here, right? That's all we can really hope for here. And then just maybe get a Liz attack card. A Liz buff card could be good here for the heal. Are we going to get it? We do get it, okay. So yeah, the ult onto Valencia right there. It's going to stun. It's going to do a lot. AoE right there. And yeah, that's starting to hit, you know, fairly high damage as well. But yeah, we should be still good to go, guys, overall. Like right here, we're going to get the cleanse. We can do the buff card here with Liz. I'm going to do the attack cards here with Valencia just to kind of lifesteal, right? Our HP right now is kind of low, and we do want to finish off the fight with full health, right? So that when we move into floor 3, we have full health going into that phase. That is very important. So I'm going to buff up with Liz right there just to get her ultimate. That's also going to cleanse all of the debuffs, and then I'm going to try and lifesteal as much HP as I can on Valencia here. But she should still be the one that gets targeted overall. We shouldn't have to worry about that, but yeah, right here, he's going to drop back down. Gonna get another HP lower right there, guys. He's gonna go for the weak point AoE, which is not gonna do a lot because we don't have any debuffs. He's gonna do another weak point AoE, which is good. And then yeah, now on this turn, guys, we can heal with Liz and then just start spamming our single target and ultimates here with DK Melee, and we should be good to go. So there we go, guys. That's gonna be floor 2 right there. So again, you could have a little bit of issues on that phase 3 right there, guys, of this fight. Like, you definitely can have issues, but overall you should be good as long as you're able to kill the side stumps instantly. You don't have to deal with them, and then you can pretty much just kind of stall through this final part of the fight and finish off with full HP and move into floor 3. So there we go, guys. That's going to be the floor 2 of the fight. Let's actually move into floor 3 now, and we'll talk all the mechanics in floor 3. Alrighty, guys, so we are hopping into the fight here with the rat on floor 3. Let's see what we're able to do, man, against this phase of the fight. We're gonna try our best here, guys, and yeah, we'll get the clear. So what we're gonna do off the rip, guys, is we'll talk about the mechanics here of the fight. The way it's gonna work, guys, is that you have to use 3 of the debuffs to be able to move him to the spot that you want to keep him at. Now, the idea that you want to do is you're gonna have to use it in a specific order. Now, this order is going to be bleed, poison, and shock in that order, and you cannot use ultimates in between. So you can't have, you know, Valencia ultimate to act as poison. You have to have a poison skill, and that's gonna be the way that we move him to the stump that we need, which is gonna be, I think, on the left for this. No, on the right. On first phase, it's going to be right, and then it's going to be left on phase 2, and then on phase 3, it's going to be back to the right, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, yeah, what we're going to do turn 1, though, guys, is I'm not actually going to go for the triple debuff off the turn 1. Actually, I'm going to move Liz, and then I'm going to do the, yeah, I'm going to move her again, and I'm actually going to do the buff card right there. And then next turn, we'll have the, yeah, we'll have the defense related from that. And also we'll have Elizabeth's ultimate too, so that's going to allow us to pretty much tank this really well. And then we can cycle ultimate now and start building up our basic stats off the rip, because the boss is going to do a lot of damage to us. So yeah, right there, as you guys can see, look how much damage the boss is doing. Look at that, man. You know, if I'm like a lower box you see there, he might get me, you know. I think he had rank 2s there, but still, I mean, you got to definitely be wary. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to do this. We're going to do the attack card here with Liz. And then what we'll do here, guys, as well, is we can start damaging the left stump, because again, we want to move him to the right. So you can just kind of waste a melee attack card right there. And yeah, and then you can just waste the AoE. So there we are. And then again, the way we're going to move him, which is going to be soon, is going to be the 3 separate debuffs. That's how we're going to move him. And that's going to be very important we do that on the following turn here, which you guys will see what we do. So yeah, he's going to move to the right, honestly, on his own, which if that happens as well, that's fine too. You know, usually I think that's just a random move that he does right there. But again, we would have had to move him with the triple debuff, guys. But this is ideal because this allows us to be able to kill the side stumps. That's actually very good. So what we can do now is we can do the ult with Liz. I can do the AoE here with DK melee. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, maybe we go with that. Let me think here. I think these stumps do have damage cap, if I'm not mistaken. They don't. Okay, yeah, so we could actually probably just kill here, guys. Yeah, actually, I forgot that the stumps do not have damage cap. This one, yeah, no, he just decreases damage taken when assuming a stance. So we can actually kill both the side stumps here. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna ult with Liz. I'm gonna do AoE. I'm gonna do AoE again with melee. And as long as both those side stumps are dead, we're good to go. And we can actually hold on to all of our debuffs here, which is really good. So yeah, I mean, that should kill both the side stumps there. With the extra damage we're getting from Liz here, I think we should be good to go. So let's see how much this does here with DK melee. Boom, boom, boom. And then with the follow-up right there as well, let's see. Okay, so we definitely need a single target there then, yeah, because we're not going to be able to move him. So what we can do then, that's fine. We don't kill right there, that's okay. What we can do is we can triple debuff again next turn and actually move him back that way. That's okay. Because remember again, guys, that normally the way we would have done it is he would have moved to a different spot anyway, and we would have did the triple debuff that way, which is also another way to go about it. Right here, we did get petrified, but again, because you're running DK melee, you're going to be completely fine, guys. So what we have to do to move him to the left, we actually do in a specific order here. So you have to do bleed, poison, and then shock, right? So we're gonna do bleed, poison, and then shock, and that's gonna move him to the right again, and then we can kill the stumps, and we should be safe to pretty much just kind of stall, right? So from there, so we can end turn here. That's gonna move him to back to the right, and then we will be good to go. So yeah, AoE. And then single target from Valencia. As you guys can see, he has all 3 of the debuffs, and now he's gonna move all the way to the right because we had all the debuffs. Yep. And then now we just have to kill both the middle and the side stump there, guys. So yeah, right there he's gonna go for the AoE. Not gonna do a crazy amount. He's gonna go for a single target onto Valencia. We have some basic stat build up now, so we're okay. There we are. And then yeah, now this turn, guys, we just kill both the side stumps. And yeah, we should be good to go. I mean, from this point on, we can just kind of stall. I can heal up a little bit with Valencia as well. We get some lifesteal. And I am going to rip DK Melee's ultimate there too, just to kind of kill both the side stumps. And then, yeah, just make sure, right? Yeah, so that's going to be really important. So there we go. Now we do the single target with Valencia. Not that it matters or anything like that, but that's okay. We drop the ultimate with DK melee, and there we go, guys. So yeah, we're back to being fairly healthy on the team. And now that he's on the right stump, guys, this is gonna be where we stall. This is literally just gonna be a bunch of stalling that we're gonna do here. So what the idea is on this part, once you've killed both the side stumps, the left and the middle, is that you want to stall on this phase until you have one of the 3 debuffs, one of each of them again, right? You need one of each of the debuffs again. So you want to have the you know, Valenti, you want to have the Glocks, and then you want to have the other Valenti AoE. It cannot be the ultimate, by the way. It has to be the actual skill. So you have to kind of just stall for that, right? That's just going to be stalling. And so what we're going to do here is just going to kind of waste all of our cards. You don't really need to hold on to melee cards too much, because we're going to have Elizabeth ultimate and cycle it that way. We'll be fine. So we don't necessarily need a melee attack card or anything like that. So yeah, we just kind of waste those and then end turn here. That's fine. But yeah, guys, he's gonna get his all stats lowered every single turn here, so you have a lot of, you know, time to pretty much stall. So I think what we can just do here is just kind of stall till he's ready. And then yeah, I guess what we'll do, guys, is I'll let you guys see the time lapse here of me just doing this part of the run, because it is just a bunch of stalling until we have our cards. So what I'll do is I'll just let the gameplay play here, guys, and then we'll come back to once we're done this phase and we're moving into phase 2. Alrighty guys, so right there we actually killed on accident right there guys. You want to keep stalling on that phase pretty much until you get a ult with Liz. You want to have a ult with DK Meliodas, and then you want to have a buff card with Liz as well with the 3 debuffs that you need. So off the rip here guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ult with Liz into the AoE attack card here and then end my turn, and then next turn we'll actually do the triple debuff to move him to the left. That's where we're going to want to move him. And then we're just going to nuke the right and the middle stump right there when we get DK Melly's ultimate next turn. So that's kind of the idea here. So we're just going to, you know, end our turn like this. I'm just going to do the ult with Liz, attack card with Liz. That's fine. And then next turn, we're actually going to move him with the triple attack right there. So that'll be okay. And then from there, we'll actually pretty much just nuke the boss. We're going to nuke the side stumps, I mean, right? Alright, so right there, gonna go for the AoEs right there. They're gonna do a decent amount of damage here, guys, so you gotta kind of be wary about that too, right? So yeah, he's gonna go for that as well, as well. And yeah, that's about half my health right there, guys. That's a lot. So now what we want to do here is we're just going to do the triple debuff. So again, we have to do it in the exact order, right? So it has to be, yeah, so bleed, poison, and then shock. So you have to make sure you do it in that order, and you cannot use ultimates or anything like that. You cannot do any follow-up attacks. The only thing we can maybe do here is, I guess, just attack with Liz, I guess, right? We can do a Liz attack just to get her ultimate back, again, I think, as well. So we are able to do an attack at the very end there, guys. You just want to make sure that you're not using literally any other type of skill that would mess up this kind of cycle you're doing, right? So there we go. We do the Liz attack. And then now it's going to move him all the way to the far left, right? Because we did all the mechanics right there. We did get a heal on Liz as well. And yeah, guys, there we go. So now he's going to ult into Valenti right there. We are going to tank that. And then now what we can do with DK Melly is we can nuke the side stumps right here. And we can actually move into the next phase and start kind of dealing with this guy on the left here. So yeah, I'm going to do DK Melly's ultimate. Again, the stumps do not have damage caps, so you can just nuke them, right? So yeah, feel free to get DK Melly's ult and do it that way. If you need that extra damage, feel free to do that. Like a follow-up AoE. But yeah, guys, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. We can just kind of waste our cards. And then, yeah, going into the next phase, we don't really need any debuffs on the next phase. But we want to ideally have a minimum of 2 of them. That's what we're going to pretty much need going into the final phase with floor 3, phase 3, guys. So, all right, there we go. We're going to do the single target with Valenti. And then, yeah, he's going to, stay back in the same spot. And then, yeah, right here, he's going to start debuffing us a ton, guys. So, you got to kind of be wary, man. This phase, you'll be debuffed a lot with food poisoning. It's kind of like the phase 2, or floor 2, phase 1, I mean, right, where you get a bunch of food poisoning debuffs. It's going to be kind of the same thing here, but you want to keep making sure you're, ult cycling and, just making sure that Liz has a really good chunk of HP available. So, yeah, alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Glock's ultimate, Liz attack card, even though we do have all these debuffs right here, that's fine, and then we can just waste Valenti attack card right there too, and that's going to be good to go. So there we go. We just kind of waste that, guys. That's completely fine. And ideally as well, guys, you want to save as many melee single targets as you can going into that final phase. Because what we want to do on the final phase of the fight, guys, is we want to focus down the left stump, which is going to be very important to kill, so that we can only use 2 debuffs to be able to move him all the way to the far right, which is how we're going to be kind of beating this fight, right? So that's going to be very important. So again, right here, what we're going to do is we're just going to do ult with Liz. I'm going to do this right here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to waste this, move this, ult with Liz, and then attack with Liz. Just to cycle our ultimate there, guys. Keep the buff cards with Liz because they are valuable, right? And until we get like a ton of crazy debuffs on us, we don't necessarily want to be wasting our buff cards like that. So right there, yeah, he's going to go for the ult right there. It's going to stun. Going to go for the follow-up AoE. And as you guys can see, the rat is pretty much just killing himself over time because he has his own food poisoning debuffs. So every single turn, he's going to take the amount of damage. And yeah, he's pretty much just going to be, kind of dealing with that the entire time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the ult with Liz again. I'm going to do the buff card right there, guys. And then, yeah, we can just kind of, yeah, I mean, we can just kind of waste our skills here. I'm just going to do that. And then we can just end turn right here as well. Yeah, I guess that would be okay. Yeah, we could just do that. And then, yeah, next turn, hopefully he does die to his own food poisoning. We'll see. It could mess us up, though, depending on how much HP we have left. But we'll see, guys, in terms of what happens here. So, yeah, we're going to ult with Valenti right there. We do reflect. But we do, you know, kind of tank that fairly well there. And then, yeah, now moving into the next phase, we actually can kill the left stump instantly, actually, which is really good. So that'll allow us to pretty much force kill the left stump, which is good. And we shouldn't have too many issues there. All right. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm just going to do the attack with Glocks, do the ult with Glocks as well. And then, yeah, I guess melee single target, maybe, yeah. I'm trying to think here. How do I want to go about this? Maybe even I ult with melee now. I'm thinking I could go for the ult with melee now. That would remove the stance. We could probably just finish him off, and then we would be able to gauge our HP as well. That's probably better. Yeah, I think I will do that. I think I am going to go for that, guys. So I am just going to do this right here. We're going to do this attack right there. I'm going to ult with Liz, and I'm going to do the buff card right there. And that should actually kill. Yeah, here, I'll do this. I'll do this, this, and then into that. And then going into the next phase, guys, we have one debuff, which is fine. But we also have the triple melee single target, which would help us kill the left stump, which is really good. And then because we actually cleanse all the debuffs here, going into the next phase, we're full health. Valenti is going to be the one that gets targeted no matter what. We did get one of the better passes right there too, which is good. And yeah, now what we want to do, guys, is just focus all of our damage into that left stump. So we're just going to start spamming all of our attacks. Just make sure we, you know, do as much damage as possible pretty much to that left stump. You know, we don't have to kill it this turn, but ideally you do want to kill it kind of on maybe either the second or third turn there, guys. So yeah, there we go. Ripping all of our single targets right there. Just getting our dark energy. Yep. And then, yeah, he's not going to be able to move right there, guys. He's going to gain another immortality, which is okay. But what's going to happen is, though, is that he's going to get a HP lower on the second turn that we stalled on this phase. So right there, he's doing a bunch of single targets. We are healing it up with Valenti, and we're okay to pretty much stall the turn here. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about right now is the fact that yeah, that Valenti might get kind of destroyed with that ultimate there. I'm a little bit scared. So I think what we will do then, which is a safe bet actually, is doing this into the ult with Liz. And then I'm actually going to single target the left stump and then AoE with DK melee. And then next turn we can actually move him back to the to this stump right here, I think. And then I think we would be good to go, because let me see what his HP is at. So the stump is at 825k and his damage cap is 33%. So I think we have enough. Yeah, I think he has enough HP left over to where this would kill. So I actually don't even think we have to waste our AoE here. So we can actually hold on to that. And I'll just waste the Gloxinia AoE, I guess, yeah. Okay. So usually, guys, you do not want to ult on this phase. But if you can kill the left stump, it is, you know, definitely something you want to do. Right? If you're able to kill the left stump as quick as possible, that is really good, because that allows you to be able to move the boss to the right again, and then you can kind of deal with him there. So there we go. Melee single target right there should kill left stump. Nice. And now we just have to focus him when he moves to the right, because we want to kill the middle stump pretty much. So now he's on the middle stump, he's staying there. We want to kind of focus him and make sure he moves to the right, and then that's where we can kind of kill the middle stump, and then we can, you know, from there, guys, start finishing off the fight. So right there, that AoE, I think that's Sever. So he's critting on all of those. That's because he has this passive right here, guys. That is definitely because he has that passive. Usually your Valenti would kind of dodge those crits, but yeah, because he had that, that's, you know, that's really tough. Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to do the double debuff. So remember, now that we've killed one of the stumps, guys, if we use 2 debuffs, we're actually going to move him to the right. So what we can do here, as long as we're not ulting with Liz, which is very important, you do not want to ult with any of your characters pretty much, or it'll move him and probably keep him in the middle. So what we want to do here is I'm going to do the attack roll with Liz so we heal up a little bit, and I'm going to do the double debuff here as well. And then, yeah, we'll have DK melee kind of close to his ultimate there too, yeah. I would love to get his ultimate on this next turn, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to do it. The following turn after, we will be able to get it though, but that could maybe mess us up a little bit too though. Yeah, I'm a little concerned here, but it's okay. Let's do that. And then we'll do the Gloxinia attack card as well. And then, yeah, we should be good to go with that, guys, because that's actually going to move him now to the right? So there we go. The double debuff. When you do 2 debuffs on the boss, when the one stump is dead, he will move to the right no matter what. So that was one mechanic that a lot of people didn't know early on. But it's one mechanic that we found out over time, guys. So, you know, good to know about that mechanic for sure, man. So there we are. And then that's going to do a lot. Let's see. Yeah, that hits very, very hard right there. Those crits, man, because he has that crit passive, it can mess you up, guys. I'm telling you, man, it can definitely mess you up. So what we're going to do now, guys, is I'm gonna just start ripping our ultimates. It is gonna do a lot of damage to that middle stump, but the idea is now is that we want to kind of full heal back up, because we're gonna take a lot of damage on that ult right there, and it is a little bit scary to do. So I am gonna do that. I'm gonna do this ult with Glocks. I'm going to do the ult with Liz, and then I'm going to cycle the ult again. I'm going to do the buff with Liz right there. This is going to force him back to the middle, guys. So we do have to do double debuff again. If I'm not mistaken, I think he won't move to the... He won't, like, stay in the same spot pretty much. Unless he get, like, really lucky. I don't know. Most of the time it is... Oh, wow. Okay, he actually stayed. Usually he will, like, move to the other stump. But on a turn like that, guys, that's really good for us, because that allows us pretty much to be able to kill the left stump now. That's really good for us. So right there, he's gonna, you know, proc that, and he's gonna go for the AoE. That does a lot. And so now, yeah, we can just kind of kill the middle stump there. So I'm gonna do the ult with DK melee. I'm gonna go for, actually no, you know what I'll do? I'll do the AoE with DK melee into the ult, into the single target, and then I think, yeah, we just kind of have to tank the AoEs here. It's really tough, but I think we do just have to tank the AoEs, guys, because I do not have another Liz top deck there. It's really tough, man. I guess we either use it now, right, and then we might have issues maybe the next turn though, because if we don't get like a top deck, or if we don't get like any type of thing, we might be screwed. But he won't be able to move to that middle stump, and he will stay on the stump, and he will start losing his immortalities. So it's a tough call, man. I think I'm gonna have to just kind of take the L here. I know this AoE though. This one is, yeah, this is the food poisoning on everyone. He's not doing that skill this turn. He's only doing the attack skill. So we just gotta hope it's the single targets, man. If it's the single targets, guys, then we're in a really good spot because it's a spike. But this Sever AoE, I mean, that's critting us and doing a lot. So we just gotta kind of hope it's the single targets there for Valenti, and we'll be good to go. But other than that, we might get screwed over here a little bit, guys. Let's see. I mean, we just gotta have to lock it in here. If we do get destroyed and it kind of messes it up, then we will have to come back to this point in the fight. But yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. So single target right there with DK melee into the middle stump. We kill it. Nice. And so now that he's stuck on the right stump, guys, the immortalities are gonna start disappearing for every food poisoning we have on the team. So there we go. As you guys will see here, the immortalities are gonna start disappearing. Yep. And so now we just gotta hope he has only single targets here for Valenti. Let's see. Starts one. AoE. That does a lot. And another AoE. We have to tank that. Let's see. We do die, yeah. So guys, again, man, the passes are very important. You guys see right there, even on my whale account, I'm dying because of that passive. He does not have that passive. I'm tanking that turn right there with Valenti. So that is an issue that can arise, guys. And yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Again, this is endgame content. The RNG on this phase is going to be very annoying. But yeah, it's just something you're going to have to deal with. So what we will do, guys, we'll come back to this point in the fight. And once we do get back into this point in the fight, I'll kind of explain what else you want to be doing from this point in the fight to finish off the fight and, you know, get the clear on Ratatoskr. Alrighty, guys, so we are back here on the floor 3 final phase. So I got back into the fight again, guys, and we got to the point where we were pretty much last time. So I'm about to kill the middle stump here, so we're just gonna ult with DK Meliodas. I'm gonna follow up ult with Gloxinia, and yeah, no, I guess we could just finish off the boss there. We could just waste a single target with DK Melee just to make sure, and yeah, we could just kind of waste the yeah, I guess I'll just do like Glock's AoE here. That's probably fine, or even like a Valenti single target. Because once he's stuck on the right side, guys, all you really have to worry about at that point is cycling Elizabeth's ultimate. That's literally the only thing that you really have to worry about from that point on. So from now on, it's literally just cycling Elizabeth ult and the buff card, and because what's gonna happen is you're gonna be able to remove his immortalities with the food poisonings that you're gonna get. So you guys will see right here. That's going to give us the food poisonings, so there you go. And each food poisoning is going to remove one of the immortalities that the boss has. So you guys will see here that pretty much every turn, because of that, we have to cycle Elizabeth ultimate to be able to heal off the damage we're taking, right? So as long as you're able to cycle through here, so we're just going to waste that. I'm just going to waste that as well. We're going to get, yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep cycling through till, you know, the boss loses all the immortalities, and then we can just kind of kill him. So yeah, I'm just going to waste melee single target right there. Not that we really need to hold on to them. We just kind of want to clear our hand as much as possible, guys, so we have the best chance to top deck an Elizabeth card. So there we go. Now you guys will see that he loses the immortalities. There we go. We do not get a Liz top deck right there. That's a little bit scary, guys. Okay, let's see. He's going to go single target again. We stall another turn. We have to stall another turn then. We can't ult with Liz all this turn or we're going to get screwed over, guys. We actually just can't, which really does suck this turn. So I'm going to do the single target here with Valenti. I'm going to go AoE with Valenti. And then I'm just going to rip AoE with Valenti again as well. The idea is here, guys, I'm trying to pretty much lifesteal as much HP back as I can. Just so that Valenti doesn't get destroyed here on these attacks, man. Because she's going to get kind of destroyed here as well. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be the best way we can kind of, you know, go about it as well. So there we go. She lifestealed a good amount. Yeah, he's gonna be stuck there. He's gonna lose another 4 immortalities. Now we did get a Liz top deck. That's really good, so we should be okay here. We're gonna get the food poisonings again. He's gonna do the single target. Okay, and yeah, no, we're good to go, guys. Okay, so from this point on in the fight, we just have to cycle one more ult with Liz and we're good to go, guys. So yeah, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to do the single target with DK Melly. I'm going to do the buff card with Liz. And then I'm just going to waste Gloxinia AoE there. Yeah. So we should be GG. Yeah, this should be a full clear right here. So yeah, he's about to ult us as well though. So, you know, we'll bear in mind that. But we do have ultimate with DK Melly and another single target too. So once the immortalities do disappear, we just have to do the ult with DK Melly into the single target, guys. And we're going to win the fight from there. Yeah, so he lost all the immortalities. Now he's going to ult. That is going to petrify us. He's going to go for the AoE. This is going to do a lot. Let's see. Oh my god, they did a lot of damage, man. I'm telling you guys, it's that crit chance, crit damage passive that I have is messing me up. But guys, as you can see, we still aren't able to get the full clear. So I'm just going to ult with DK Melly, you know, single target here, AoE, and yeah, that should be the GG from that point on, guys. So yeah, DK Melly ultimate. Into the single target and then into the AoE. Should kill from this range. Let's see. Single target from DK Melly. And there we go, guys. So, yeah, man. I mean, this is the best team that I've found, guys. That is the most consistent for this fight. Again, it is endgame content, so you're going to have issues like that, you know, sometimes when going through the fight. But yeah, guys, that is the Ratatoskr, you know, pretty much the guide right there. So let's hop out of the fight here, guys, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. Alrighty, guys, so that's going to be the video right there for the Ratatoskr complete guide. I hope this video is helpful, guys, and you guys did learn how to go about the fight. Again, guys, end game content, man. I gotta stress this because a lot of people are gonna try and do this anyway, even though they don't have like crazy stuff. It is end game at the end of the day, guys, so it's gonna be very hard to do. Only attempt this really once you're kind of later game. The Grand Cross themselves advise 12 million bucks. You see, I don't necessarily think you need 12 mil, but definitely like around like 8 to 10 million plus would be a good range where I would say you could actually attempt this fight and do past floor 2. Right now, floor 1 and 2 you can actually do with maybe even like 6-7 million, right? But you still have to be at that end game level to even be able to get the clear. So guys, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, man. This video took forever to make, pretty much the whole day. You probably saw on the camera that it went from light in the background to now it's dark because it's nighttime now, man. But yeah, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, guys. I appreciate all the support on the channel, and that's gonna be it for the Demonic Beast complete guides. This is the final one that I had to do, and we'll only have to do another one now once we get, you know, floor 4 of Deer or floor 4 of whatever, or even, I don't even know, maybe even another Demonic Beast. We'll see. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.